and gentlemen, we appear to be having some technical difficulties with our mobile camera out of the paddock. So, I'm afraid right now you're back with me. We should say we are getting to the point where light is failing us. Well, no, it doesn't look like that at all at the moment, but light will start to diminish over the course of the next hour. And let's respond. How are the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineering karting squad getting on? Well, in the last few minutes, Danny, not all that well. They were involved in some kind of incident at start-finish straight, a very unusual place to see a kart go off. But off they went, and we didn't say we were surprised to see them there. We wondered if maybe they were helped into that by another kart. So they're currently in the pits, I'm afraid to report, assessing the damage, unless... Yeah, they're... Oh no, they've just gone back out. They've set a first sector time. They spent 6 minutes in the pits, approximately 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes-ish. So okay, the damage wasn't as bad as we initially thought. So, okay, they're back underway, currently in 48th place. What position is the 117, asks Ashley Woodland. 117, the SG Petch Fury kart is in 44th place, 48 seconds behind the 43rd place UCK Motorsport, and 10 seconds ahead ahead of the 67 Swindon Karting 1 kart. So they're running well. A lot of the team, they're just, setting their pace at the moment. And one final question. Ben Pickard asks, I'm assuming the track is floodlit at night. Yes. Yes, it is. Although, as we mentioned earlier in the race, it is a bit darker. There are fewer floodlights in the outer section of the track, the international section, which is the section you can see right here. You saw up the hill there, and then this back straight where our leader, the 330 car, is currently heading down. I should say, we keep calling it the 330, and you might be looking and saying, it says 33. There is a very small zero after the 2 threes, almost as, as if it was a bit of an afterthought. But we have seen up close, it is the 330 kart, the Q Racing team, who have been leading this race for a good few hours now. But I'll go back to now to the questions. I'll go back to what I was saying. The light is going to fade and it's going to diminish in the next hour or so, and we are going to, on the live stream here, give the brilliant team of cameramen who are manning our cameras, we're going to give them a bit of a rest, and we're going to switch gradually over to static cameras. But Andrew and I, we've decided that we're going to try and stick with you for a little while longer. We honestly, and I mean this honestly, you can see the floodlights are on now. Actually, this shot does justice to how the light is actually dropping now. But Andrew and I are going to try and stay with you to give you more coverage with the commentary. We honestly don't know how well we're going to be able to see once the lights go down here. When we've covered events in the past here, we have sort of wrapped things up as it's gone dark. But we will. We've got the timing, so we're going to try and keep with you. But just be aware, you may see us start to transition slowly to static camera.
Message from Ian Thomas from the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. Their kart is now back out on track.
Yeah, indeed.
And it sounds like they were encouraged into that little hello to the barriers, but it's good to hear that they've got new track rod and they're back in the race.
Yeah, and it was quick actually. According to the timers when I saw them come back out, it was only 5.5 minutes they were in the pits. So impressive turnaround from them.
And we've had a question from Sam Brighton as well. Hello Sam, good to hear from you. Any BUKC teams drivers racing? There's no specific teams, say there's no like a university of team, but there are lots of faces that myself and Howard recognise from the BUKC, so racing on various teams. There are some teams that I think the Northampton Maidens are a good example, where most of their drivers are current BUKC drivers from various teams, but they've kind of clubbed together. I mean, I know we've had previously a BUKC All-Stars in this race. No such team this year. I think the Maidens kind of take that mantle of the closest thing to a BUKC All-Stars.
Yeah, so they've got Jess Alexander, they've got Hannah Percox. Oh, that's really embarrassing. We're going to other teams. We've seen James de Havilland.
Yep.
Have we not? He's formerly of the BUKC, very good driver for Newcastle. He was when he was driving for them. We've seen
Sam Spinale,
Hertfordshire driver, who had a really impressive winning streak for this year's BUKC season, the 2017 season. Managed to win every race he was in. He was
unbeaten for quite a while.
Yeah.
Particularly in the wet conditions.
Yes. So very impressive, and exactly the kind of person you'd have wanted out earlier on in the conditions that we had.
Luke Walker from the Plymouth team.
Yes.
We saw him start in fact there it was, the number 48 of the Brawn Cocktails team. Quite a few Plymouth people on that one. You've got Julian Clist, who's I think formerly of Plymouth. Lewis Bonwick as well. They've been joined by Laura Davis from Leeds. As I say, there's quite a few teams where you've got people who've become friends through the BUKC, racing on different university teams, coming together for this one, which is really good.
Yeah, it's really good. And apologies to any BUKC people that we have missed out in the field in that very comprehensive thing we tried to do off the top of our heads. Right. With a view to Andrew and I carrying on for slightly longer than originally built, I think we're now going to alternate somewhat. So I'm now going to leave you in the company of Mr. Andrew Mather here. Don't worry, we have. I haven't just announced that to him now.
What? Don't leave me.
So you're all going to get a well-earned rest from my voice for a bit. But yes, stay tuned. Oh, so they're going 3 abreast up the hill. Why not? Oh, this is the difficult. They're now going to make it very difficult for me to look away by making it very exciting. You can see how the light's fading. So I'm going to take a breather, but you're very capable.
Thank you very much, Howard. 15 hours, 52 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock left to go for the 2017 British 24 hours here at Teesside Autodrome. There is a yellow flag out at the Marshall post you can see on screen. That's probably for something happening in hairpin 1 or hairpin 2, or on the run up towards the Parabolica. Can't quite see what it is, but whatever it was, it's now been taken away. Well, what a first set of hours we've had. We had a ferocious start to the race where MS SoCo Select led from pole, and it was basically a game of hot potato for the lead between SoCo Select, MS JSR and the Q Racing team currently leading the race. That was until the rain came. Some of the heaviest rain that I think the 24-hour karting series has seen this year. We went full course yellow for a very, very long time, but we kept the race running, which surprised me, to be honest. I thought we would go red flag, but we kept it running. And from that, Q Racing started to put their dominance into the event. However, the last couple of hours or so, it feels like the tide has turned. That 2-lap lead that the Q Racing team did have is now 22.4 seconds ahead of the original pole sitters, MS SoCo Select. So the race is well and truly back on. The other classes have been brilliant to watch as well. Clubman in particular has been a fantastic scrap between DWS, the 58 kart, and Team Keen. Barring a couple of spins here and there, they have run pretty much trouble-free, apart from that, which I should have said was not the same case for our top two, who have both had spins coming out of turn 3. The MMS SoCo Select car is still running around, I believe, with damage to the right-hand side of the kart, so watch out for that. But no, those two Clubman karts, currently in 4th and 5th on the road, have been running very, very well. Sorry, 5th and 6th now. So I reckon that battle is going to go on through the night. Rookie class has also been very intriguing. Two teams again really at the focus of this one. The Cosley Cougars, currently 10th place, started from pole position, lost the lead to Giant Hornets Racing, who are now 13th and have slipped back a couple of laps off the Cougars. However, we have seen so many times 2 or 3 laps really in this game. That's not enough because it can change so quickly. The higher class, well, this has been very topsy-turvy. The vast majority of the karts in this field are running in that class, fantastically supported. Back up to the front of it has come the SG Petch Sprinters, who use their local knowledge absolutely wonderfully. It was impeccable to see them starting to come through. They took the lead and they've been in the fight ever since, especially when the rain came down. But obviously in that class we've seen a lot of casualties so far. We've seen a lot of drivers and teams get up to the front and then start to fall away. We're thinking the likes of Kart Events Belgium, they've started to fall a little bit back. Last minute we're running up there for a while. The Northampton Maidens started from pole, went down to about 7th or 8th in class, fought their way back to the lead. They've had problems. Eco Trailer, they were up at the sharp end of the class for a while. They've fallen back. Modal PPS, they qualified well but haven't so far been able to convert that into a good class finish. It's all been going on in the higher class, and it's also been good to see some of the comeback stories that we've had, at least in the first third of this race. Looking through, I'm thinking about teams such as Wildcard Racing, back up to 18th place, have had 2 trips to the garage, but they've fought their way back very, very well at this stage of the race. Race for Ruben, the charity team racing for Ruben Clark, who sadly passed away in the last 2 weeks, and there's a very touching, very moving moment of applause, a minute of applause pre-race for him. I'm really glad to say they are coming back through. They are 32nd now. They did fall into the 40s earlier after a couple of issues. And there's one more which I'm forgetting, which I'm trying to remind myself who it was coming back through. Who was it? Oh, I should know. It slipped my mind now, apologies. But no, plenty of teams coming back through that field. So lots of racing to go. 15 hours and 47 minutes here at Teesside Autodrome. Do keep your comments coming in on the Facebook stream, and yeah, so we've got a message that's come in from Rachel. That's Kart 14th in higher, which I'm just going to try and work out who that is. One moment, sorry folks. It's the rival Bones, I reckon. The number 54 have come from 4 places from last in qualifying and up to 31st. So yes, a very good. They're one of the comeback teams really. They've done really well and keeping it out of trouble. 8th place into the pits comes the 211. This was one of our early leaders, the MSJSR, which is labelled 111 on the carts. It's another one of the carts that's of the owners that on scoring and timing is being shown as a different number because there's an equivalent number of it in the higher class. Lights starting to fade, floodlights are on, the time is 8:15 here at Teesside, and still plenty of support coming in for all the different teams. BTM, they're another one of the teams that have, in fact I think that was the team I was thinking of and couldn't remember who it was, apologies. The BTM team, who were quite a way behind after early trouble, now back up into the top 25. Oh, there's a kart off on the little short run up the hill. Looks like it's a kart that's just stuck in the wall. Is the driver going to be able to get going again? Yes, he is. We'll just try and track who that was as they come round the top corner and onto the back straight. Marshall Just putting the tyre wall back in place. And wait for that driver. It's the driver in the white suit. See if they're going to come through. I think there they are, coming back through. And it was the number 26 that had that little incident there. So that's the Maltby Warriors. We've not talked about them much. The Maltby Warriors. 52nd place for them. 313 laps completed. Still ahead of plenty of higher karts at the moment. Just going to remind myself where they started as well. I think they started in the second half of the field. Yes, they started 47th. So they're holding themselves around that region, around the 50s. 20.2 seconds is now the lead for Q Racing over MS SoCo Select. It's been pretty much on 3 laps where there's no traffic. It's been coming down by half a second. It's another half second taken out by MS SoCo Select, but they've just had a slower lap in the 115s, probably because they had traffic. We'll see if Q Racing can respond. You'll also see some of the karts dressed. Oh, who's that? Who's off? On hairpin 2, there's a driver out of a kart. Can't quite make out who it is. 31's a good example of what I was just about to mention. Karts with lights on or LEDs. Some of them almost look like lightsabers flying through the night. But yeah, bit of time pulled out by Q Racing on that last lap, as they dealt with some traffic. 86 running out there, the race for Ruben Kart. 48, they were one of the front runners in the higher class early on in the race, the Brawn Cocktails team. Just about, well, they're closing in on CD31. They're 25 seconds behind the kart in 40th place. Now this is a tricky one for the marshals. Full course yellow. Full course yellow has been administered onto circuit for the pickup quad bike to help out the driver who's come to a stop at hairpin 2, and into the pits comes Team Belgium, the number 79, currently in 12th place. Running very well in Clubman. They are 5th in class. Currently locked in a battle with Canterbury College over 4th in class. So we go full course yellow. I'll be honest, I've lost count. I think this is the 6th, perhaps, 6th full course yellow in the 27 British 24-hour. Hopefully we'll catch a sight of the kart that's had the trouble shortly and be able to confirm who it is. It's someone who's not come through sector 2. Oh, it might be Piston Broke. Piston Broke, the number 227. They've been falling a few positions, and they've not come through sector 2. The kart has now been cleared, as into the pits comes, who's that on their way in? One of the owner karts. Might be Blue Speed Racing, the 881 in Clubman. There goes your leader. In fact, have we... Well, there's been a few there's been some slow laps there for MS SoCo Select. They've fallen a good 13 seconds further back. 33.456 second the gap now. A 129.523 for MS SoCo Select. So not sure what's happened there. And we're back to green. We're back to green racing, green flag racing now. So the kart that had the issue has been recovered back off circuit. The team we were looking at was the 227, weren't we? And they have now come in. I'm pretty sure that our kart with the issue was the Piston Broke car, the 227. Light continuing to fade. 20 past 8 now. 44 coming through there, through hairpin 1. That's the kart 4.